Hi, gang. It's Patrick.
And Adam.
Coming up on today's episode, we discuss Mickey's 90th Spectacular on ABC, chat about news and rumors, and we invite our special guest Anna into the studio to recap our recent trip to Disney World for the Run Disney Wine and Dine event. As always, we'll close out the show with some quick D. All that and more on today's episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Hi, Patrick.
Hey, howdy, hey, Adam.
And might I say, welcome back, Patrick.
Oh, thank you so much.
Freshly back from your Run Disney weekend.
Freshly back. It was so much fun.
I can't wait to talk all about it, and joining us will be our friend Anna.
That's right. We're going to do a deep dive into our Run Disney experience later on.
She had her first experience, and of course you are a veteran Run Disneyer.
I'm a veteran. Well, it's my second time, and I'm going to do another one in April, so I love the Run Disney events.
And on your trip, Patrick, you had the pleasure of meeting up with one of our followers on Instagram.
That's true. His name is Randy. His Instagram handle is Magical Travels with Randy. It's really fantastic. Follow him. He's great. He knew I was going to be in the parks based on one of our previous episodes, and he hit me up on Instagram, and we got to meet in Hollywood Studios.
I love that.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was just a special moment for me because it's just really, I love that interaction, and so to meet someone who sort of follows what we do and appreciates what we do was so magical for me. Hopefully it was a great time for him. He was with some of his family members, so it was great to meet them as well. They all got Gaze to the Deep buttons. We took a photo. It's on the Instagram, so go look at that. It was so fun. I loved it. I really encourage all of you, if we're going to be in the parks, and we'll always let you know, to reach out to us if you're going to be there too. We really do want to meet you. And speaking of reaching out, we had quite a few people reach out to us on social media recently, right?
And we really, really appreciate it.
It's really one of my favorite things. It sounds vain, but I love it. It's so endearing.
It's creating that connection, right?
It really
with
is.
Other Disney fans.
Yeah, we love that.
At Tim3LESZ. I'm sure it spells out something really cool and clever, but I'm just not cool enough to pick up on it.
Or young enough.
Anyway, his name is Edward. At Tim3LESZ sent us a lovely message on Instagram,
Aww.
as did at WDW Collective.
Wow.
A fan of the show. And at AA Antonopoulos, I want to say.
Sure. Sounds a little bit Greek, maybe?
Perhaps. His name is Roger, and he wrote us to say, I just found your guys' podcast and am obsessed.
Aww.
I have been looking for a podcast like this forever. I can relate to you both so much. Thank you for doing this and for showing how gays do the D.
Oh, I love that.
Also, after hearing y'all review of the Broadway Princess Party,
Oh, yeah.
I looked it up and saw they are coming to San Jose.
Amazing.
So I booked tickets for my family to surprise my mom for her birthday. Thanks for the suggestion.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
Wish your mother a happy birthday from us, Roger.
Yes, please do, and have so much fun at the Broadway Princess Party. We
Absolutely, loved it. And speaking of birthdays,
Oh,
there's a big Disney birthday coming up.
there sure is. Who could that be? Oh, it's Mickey Mouse.
It's Mickey Mouse's 90th birthday.
90 years old on November 18, which of course is when Steamboat Willie premiered.
And in celebration of the Mouse's birthday, recently, Mickey's 90th Spectacular aired on ABC. Patrick, did you watch the 90th Spectacular?
I sure did. I didn't watch it live because I was in the Disney parks. Sorry about it.
That's the worst excuse for not watching
Fair.
a Disney television event.
That's fair. But I did watch it on the Hulus.
Yes, on Hulu. It's available on Hulu.
I really liked it. What did you think?
It was odd.
It reminded me of the old school variety shows, which I kind of love.
Sure.
It was sort of like a roast of Mickey Mouse a little bit, and there was a lot of singing and some dancing. It was like a variety show. It was great. There was one moment. There were more than one moment, but there was one specific moment in the very beginning that was a little jarring for me to see Mickey do some like hip hop.
It was jarring.
Dancing. I was like, oh, Oh, I don't know if I want my Mickey Mouse to do that.
Who knew Mickey had those moves? And did you see the audience's reaction when he started playing the drums?
I did.
It was like a freeze frame shot of people, and everyone's mouth was in an O shape. They were all aghast that Mickey could just slam on the drums like that.
Well, he's a very talented mouse.
He is very, very talented. And of course, they brought out Minnie, also her 90th birthday.
Yeah, we're with her on this
we
podcast.
We are with her.
Minnie is also 90, everybody. Don't forget. Never forget.
I was a little uncomfortable with her sleeveless dress. Not in a modesty way.
Oh.
But it's just weird. You don't normally see Minnie so exposed.
It's true. It's true. Although in Hollywood studios, when you get to meet Sorcerer Mickey, you also see Glamour Hollywood Minnie. Oh. And she's wearing a sleeveless gown. And her arms are very fetching, I must say.
She got a fashion show in the spectacular.
She did. She's known for much more than her fashion, as most women are. But they did give her a fashion show on this program.
I mean, it was a chance to merchandise, right? They had to show people what they could buy.
Fair enough.
Did you find the couch segments kind of awkward?
It was weird. It was like Mickey was sort of Ed McMahon on the Tonight Show, just sort of like laughing and pointing, and everything else is going on around him.
Whenever guests would come out and he'd invite them over to the couch, I assumed there was going to be a conversation, but it was just kind of like
just a lot of nodding
and
a lot of pantomiming.
You know who was great? One of the guests.
Yes.
Wendy McClendon Covey.
Oh my gosh, I love her.
Yes, who was in The Goldbergs and was in Bridesmaids.
And Reno 911.
Yes, and her flirting with Mickey and the reactions Mickey was having to it.
Yeah, hysterical and adorable at the same time.
It was a priceless moment. And there were some great performances from musical artists, right?
Yeah, a lot of musical artists that I realized I am too old to know who they are.
They kept bringing out guests and I was like, who?
They were all amazing, but I was like, I've literally never heard of you before. But well done you. Well done you.
Yeah.
Oh, and of course, hearing Leslie Odom Jr. sing When You Wish Upon a Star, man, do I need that recording in my life.
That man in a white suit?
Yeah.
Yowza.
Yeah, he's as talented as he is wonderful to look at. And that's real wonderful. Real wonderful.
So it was a great celebration of Mickey's 90th birthday. It was very flashy.
Yeah. A lot of great celebrities, as you were saying. Kristen Bell sort of kicked off the event. And I mean, come on, Kristen Bell. Love her. Josh Gad, John Stamos. It was amazing. It was amazing. There was a really beautiful, I cried like 14 times when they did sort of a shout out to Make-A-Wish, which Disney is heavily behind. They did this wonderful piece around a very specific Make-A-Wish story that just had me in tears and made me whip out my credit card and donate some money.
It was almost as if they wanted you to do that.
Yeah, they knew how to get to me. And
good
worked.
For you for doing it.
Well, listen. And then, of course, the two original Mickey Mouse Club members who came out, Bobby Burgess and Sharon Baird. That was so endearing to see. And they got to hug Mickey and sit on the couch with him. That was really wonderful. It was a great moment they had.
And Sharon is 2 feet tall. Little known fact.
Yeah.
She is a little peanut.
Yeah. She looks like I imagine Shirley Temple would, were Shirley Temple never to grow. She was darling. I loved it.
Well, it was a great television special honoring Mickey, celebrating his birthday. And we're going to be celebrating Mickey's birthday a day late in our next episode by having a little Diz-tory lesson about Mickey's life and entertainment.
That's right. And maybe some Minnie as well, because we're with her. Speaking of Mickey's 90th, Target has this wonderful display in their stores right now with some great merch, some Mickey's 90th merch. Some of it is actually exclusive to Target. It's really, really cute. And I ended up buying this little mystery pack. I love a mystery pack that I'm going to open right now on this episode. So you get this little Mickey head, and inside of it are 2 Mickey Mouse figurines, and you don't know which one you're going to get.
The container alone is super cute,
it's
right? It's
darling. I think we'll take a picture of it and put it online.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. I'm going to open the container.
I heard it.
Did you hear it?
I heard it.
Okay, here we go. Who do you think I'm going to get? Well, Mickey Mouse, of course, but do you have a guess of which Mickey Mouse I'm going to get?
Oh, so it's like Mickey through the years?
Mickey through the years, yeah.
I'm going to say you're going to get... Is like Mickey's Christmas Carol Mickey an option, or like
who knows?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to go Mickey's Christmas Carol. And I'm going to go. How many did you get? 2?
2.
Okay, Mickey's Christmas Carol Mickey, and I'm going to say Sorcerer Mickey.
Ooh, I like those guesses. Here we go. You are wrong. I got Marching Band Mickey, so sort of who's the leader of the club.
Yeah, that's great.
It's really cute, and just original Mickey.
Oh, classic Mickey.
Yeah.
Well, I like it because like original Mickey is more like retro-y looking or like vintage-y looking. Really
His
cool.
eyes are still real big ovals.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it. Good job. Well done, Target, and well done, Mickey Mouse. Happy birthday.
We will post pictures of Patrick's prizes on our Instagram at GDTD Podcast. Hey, Patrick.
Yes?
Because we have this amazing trip report coming up, let's bypass a discussion this week and head straight on into news and rumors.
Let's do it.
Disney After Hours events expand to Disney's Hollywood Studios and Disney's Animal Kingdom in Walt Disney World.
Exciting.
So previously, Disney has been doing After Hours events in the Magic Kingdom. I've actually been, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, you've said.
This is a ticketed event, and it occurs for 3 hours after regular park hours.
That's awesome.
There is little to no wait for attractions, experiences, and character greetings. And the best part is that you can actually get into the park at 7 p.m. on the night of your event.
Wow, so that's almost like a full day in the park anyways.
I may have misspoke. Maybe the best part is that your ticket includes all-you-can-eat ice cream, popcorn, and select beverages.
You did misspeak because that is the only reason to pay that much money.
In the Magic Kingdom Park, almost all of the attractions are open, including classics like the Haunted Mansion, the Jungle Cruise, Pirates of the Caribbean, Space Mountain, and new classics like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It's so great to be able to just kind of walk on to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. How does that happen?
It's like a VIP experience.
Event nights in the Magic Kingdom are November 26th, December 3rd, and December 10th, 2018, January 7th, 17th, 24th, and 28th, 2019, February 7th, 14th, and 28th, 2019, and March 7th, 2019. Tickets are currently available at disneyworld.com/Disney After Hours. Now, what about the Hollywood Studios, you say, Patrick?
I do say.
All of the Toy Story Land attractions will be open, including Slinky Dog Dash. So you'll be able to walk right onto Slinky Dog Dash.
Awesome.
Alien Swirling Saucers, ASS.
Oh, no.
And Toy Story Mania. And, of course, also included will be Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror.
Fantastic, which are all the rides.
That's right. All of the rides at Hollywood Studios. Select quick service food and beverage locations will also stay open for purchases throughout the night.
That's smart.
Event nights in Hollywood Studios are December 8th, 15th, and 22nd, 2018, January 5th, 12th, and 19th, 2019, February 2nd, 9th, and 16th, 2019, March 2nd, 9th, 16th, and 23rd, and 30th, 2019, and April 6th and 13th, 2019. As for Disney's Animal Kingdom, you can enjoy the best of the park at night, including the heart-tugging Tree of Life Awakenings and the adventures within Pandora, the World of Avatar. Can you imagine just being able to walk right on to Flight of Passage?
That doesn't happen. I don't think they're not going to have that happen, are they? It's part of the experience, right? Waiting 2 hours in line.
So 2 of the 3 hours in the After Hours event will be waiting in line for Flight of Passage.
Yeah, absolutely.
They just want to make it an authentic experience.
Yeah.
Again, select quick service food and beverage locations will remain open throughout the event. The dates for Disney's Animal Kingdom After Hours events are December 4th, 12th, and 18th, 2018, January 8th, 16th, 22nd, and 31st, 2019, February 5th, 6th, 12th, 13th, 19th, and 26th, 2019, March 5th, 20th, and 27th, 2019, and April 3rd, 2019.
That's a lot of dates. I'm excited about that. I'm just going to go on Dinosaur 500 times in a row.
And why wouldn't you? Tickets for Disney's After Hours events at Disney's Hollywood Studios and Disney's Animal Kingdom go on sale November 15th, and you can purchase tickets by calling the Disney Reservation Center at 407-939-7795. Now, to the most important thing.
Yes?
How much does this cost?
Oh, I'm going to guess $5.
Patrick.
Oh no, $500.
Well, I'm going to give you some good news then.
Somewhere in between.
All Disney After Hours events tickets cost $125 plus tax for advanced purchase and $129 plus tax for day of purchases.
Okay, so if you're not going to get a normal ticket that day and you're just going to make that your day or evening in the park, that actually is not too unreasonable.
Disney Vacation Club members and annual pass holders do get a discount at $95 plus tax.
Well, that makes you want to buy an annual pass.
For Magic Kingdom, this entirely makes sense to me. Because you can get on so many attractions. So many attractions are open.
Yeah, and there are so many attractions.
There are so many attractions.
So many
That's
options.
the point I should be making.
Yeah.
For Hollywood Studios and even Animal Kingdom, this is a little bit dicey for me. I'm not sure I would do it.
Yeah, you can get on those 4 rides that they have available. It could be a good experience just to be in the park with not that many people around. That might be part of the experience, but there's just not a lot to do in those parks. The rides they do offer are great, so go on Dinosaur 500 times in a row like me. Now through November 17th, Disney is inviting you to share your ears. If you take a picture of yourself with your Mickey Mouse ears or any creatively themed ears and upload it to Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and then add the hashtag #ShareYourEars, Disney will donate $5 to Make-A-Wish until they reach $2 million.
That's incredible.
That's so much dollars.
It's so many dollars.
Anyone can participate no matter where you are. However, Disney parks will have unique opportunities to get in on the fun. So in Disneyland in California, Disney World, and Disneyland Paris, they all have these themed ear walls. They are specifically designed for the event. I saw them on the runDisney event. We ran past a couple of the walls. Super cute. And then in Hong Kong Disneyland, they'll have photo frames all along Main Street that you can use, and even Disney Cruise Lines will have Share Your Ears photo opportunities. And it doesn't stop there. Most Disney stores in the US and Canada will have craft stations where you can decorate your own paper Mickey Mouse ear cutouts. So, Disney has been involved with the Make-A-Wish program since about 1980, helping with over 130,000 wishes. Currently, over 10,000 Disney-specific wishes are granted each year. The Make-A-Wish vision is to grant the wish of every child diagnosed with a critical illness. Right now, on average, they grant a wish every 34 minutes in the United States.
Phenomenal.
Such great work they do. I love them. I donate to them every year. You should too. The Share Your Ears campaign is a part of Disney's Dream of Heroes initiative to commit $100 million to transform the children's hospital experience and provide comfort and inspiration for kids and their families. To learn more about Share Your Ears, visit shareyourears.org. And to learn more about Make-A-Wish, visit wish.org.
You know, Patrick, we need to have a glamorous photo shoot after we get done recording and share our ears.
I think you're right. I like sharing. I like ears. I like sharing my ears.
I want a lot of filters, a lot of gauzy, kind of glamorous looks.
I'm going to put some Vaseline on the camera just so we look a little...
All the help I can get.
Yeah, I like it. A little glamorous.
So check out our Instagram at GDTD Podcast, and you'll be able to see our picture and our ears.
And of course, do your own Share Your Ears experience and send it our way so we can repost it.
Disney announces a special New Year's Eve Fort Wilderness Beach dessert party event to ring in 2019.
I love all of those words.
So guess what day this happens on? December 31st.
What?
Yeah, 2018. From 10 o'clock p.m. to 12:30 a.m., Clementine's Beach at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground will turn into a party.
Work.
It will include scenic views of the Seven Seas Lagoon. And of course, from there, you can see the fireworks from the Magic Kingdom.
That sounds a lot more relaxing than standing with 1 million people in front of the castle.
That's right. You can just stand there with some sand between your toes and watch some fireworks and ring in the new year.
I'm there for it.
The event includes specialty beverages like beer and wine. Patrick, beer and wine.
I'm going to drink it all.
An assortment of freshly prepared desserts, seasonal fruits, just like us.
Seasonal and fruity.
Cheeses.
Ooh, cheeses for us Mises.
And of course, at midnight, there will be champagne.
Ooh, fancy. That's a fancy way to say it.
The event costs $99 for adults and $59 for children ages 3 to 9.
That is a really inexpensive evening.
Those prices do not include tax. Gratuity is not included or required, but friends, these are hardworking cast members and they're working on a holiday, so of course you're going to tip them, right?
All the money. This past weekend, on October 4th, over 100 Disney volunteers in California participated in the Walk for Hope to help raise funds for City of Hope, a hospital and research facility dedicated to help treat and prevent women's cancers. One notable volunteer this year was Disney Parks Experiences and Consumer Products Chairman Bob Chapek, who served as the chair for Walk for Hope. A quote from Bob Chapek at the event: "We all know someone who has been impacted by cancer, and some of us are fortunate enough to have had City of Hope in our family's corner during that fight. City of Hope saves lives, brings people together, and gives hope to thousands, and I was thrilled by the opportunity to support them in this meaningful way." The volunteers were participating as part of Disney Volunteers, capital EARS.
I get it.
Disney Volunteers have provided more than 10 million hours of volunteer service around the world since the program began 35 years ago at Disneyland Resort.
This is what I love about you, Patrick. I bring a story about an after-hours event, and I bring a story about a beach party on New Year's Eve.
The fun stuff.
And you have brought two very meaningful stories to the table, and I feel like a schmo.
Not at all. We all need to know about those beach parties.
Now, this is a great example of what Disney does, right?
Yeah.
They entertain us, but they also provide these incredible opportunities for cast members to give back to the community in very meaningful ways.
That's right. They impact us in our joy, in our hearts, and in our lives. It's really amazing. Well done, Disney. To learn more about City of Hope or to make a donation, visit cityofhope.org.
Patrick, I have some breaking news.
Oh, I love breaking things.
At least this was breaking as of our recording on Thursday night.
Oh, wow. All right, let's do this.
We have the name of Disney's new streaming service, which will launch in 2019.
What?
It's going to be called Disney Plus.
Oh, I like it.
Not Plus, but Disney and then the plus symbol.
I like it. Creative, clever, probably appealing to the eye.
It's very catchy. It's very now.
Disney Plus.
We've been talking a lot in past episodes about what shows will be streaming on Disney Plus.
We sure have.
We mentioned last week that in development right now, there is currently a Falcon and Winter Soldier series.
Perhaps a Scarlet Witch series.
Perhaps a Loki series. Well, on November 8th, Disney chairman and CEO Bob Iger announced that Lucasfilm is developing a series for Disney Plus.
I'm interested.
Do you remember a character named Cassian Andor?
I sure do. I remember him as, "Stop talking to me, I'm looking at this beautiful man."
Cassian Andor was played by Diego Luna, and he appeared in Rogue One, a Star Wars story. And now Lucasfilm is developing a series around that character. The series is going to be a rousing spy thriller.
Ooh.
And will explore tales filled with espionage and daring missions to restore hope to a galaxy in the grip of a ruthless empire.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do I need to quit my job to start watching all of these wonderful shows that are coming?
It sounds like they're just stacking the deck with these incredible shows, incredible performers, incredible stories. It's going to be amazing.
I wonder if Disney Plus will be in the hotel rooms.
You know it's going to be.
Then who's going to go to the parks with all that great programming?
A release date for the series has not yet been announced, but it's expected that it will go into production in 2019. Of the series, Diego Luna said, "Going back to the Star Wars universe is very special for me. I have so many memories of the great work we did together and the relationships I made throughout that journey. We have a fantastic adventure ahead of us, and this new, exciting format will give us the chance to explore this character more deeply."
I'd love to explore that character deeply. Adam, I've got another heartwarming tale for you.
You're just full of them tonight.
I am. Toy Story Land has gotten a holiday overlay. Okay, so it's not heartwarming, but it is to me because I love the holidays.
It's heartwarming. My heart feels warmer. I think it might be a medical condition. I ate a lot of pizza. Oof.
Well, that's behind the scenes. They don't need to know that. They don't need to know that. As I said, Toy Story Land in Disney's Hollywood Studios has been transformed for the holidays. The brand new overlay includes oversized cranberry and popcorn garland, an oversized ham sugar cookie, green alien ornaments, cardboard antlers on Rex, and an angel kitty ornament. Adorable. Also, the land's attractions have been updated with new holiday audio and music. Guests will hear sleigh bells ringing on Slinky Dog Dash, and Alien Swirling Saucers, ASS, will offer 2 holiday tracks and themed lighting.
I bet we're going to see a lot more of this going forward. When they're in development for these new lands, it seems like they're thinking ahead now to how are we going to kind of plus this for the holidays? How are we going to make it a little bit different? I'm really curious to see what Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is going to be like. Is it going to be like the Star Wars Christmas special from our childhood?
I certainly hope not.
Will a hologram of B. Arthur come and sing to me?
I certainly hope so.
That would be incredible.
Yeah, we're going to get a lot of Wookiees with Santa hats. it's on.
I have seen pictures from Toy Story Land, and the overlay does look really, really, really cute.
It's true. And I have to believe, like you said, that all of the lands going forward are going to add that to their planning in the process. So they'll be ready for the holidays. And I'm always ready for the holidays.
Patrick, I'm scared.
Why are you scared?
Because I'm tiptoeing into the rumor section of our news and rumors segment.
Mm-hmm.
And in previous episodes, you have made some rather lame Adele jokes.
I don't recall that.
Here we go.
Rumor has it.
Oh, no.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
It wasn't a joke.
No.
It didn't sound great.
Rumor has it.
That's better.
Yeah, it's going to happen 10 more times.
Oh, I'm back on edge.
Hold on to your rumor has it.
Here's a rumor for you.
Rumor has it.
On January 18th, 2019, a new projection and fireworks show called Mickey's Mix Magic in honor of Mickey's 90th birthday celebration will premiere at Disneyland Resort in California.
Interesting title.
Disney is describing the show as the biggest dance party to ever come to Disneyland.
Bold statement.
It will feature projections, exclusive music, including EDM takes on favorite Disney songs. Do you know what EDM is, Patrick?
I'm too old for this rumor.
It's electronic dance music.
Thank you so much. I thought it was ears doing moves. That's what I would have thought.
The show will also include lights, lasers, and fireworks sometimes.
Just casually fireworks?
On the weekends, there will be pyrotechnics, but during the week when people have to work in the surrounding neighborhood and need their sleep, so Monday through Thursday, it will be a projection-only show.
You know what, folks? Don't live near Disney if you don't want them fireworks. That's my advice.
Projections will take place on Sleeping Beauty Castle, Main Street, USA, It's a Small World, and on the Rivers of America.
Wow. So everywhere in Disneyland.
Apparently, Mickey's Mix Magic is very similar to We Love Mickey, which is the nighttime spectacular at Hong Kong Disneyland, which premiered earlier this year.
Oh, very cool.
You know Disney loves to recycle things.
It's true.
So they probably just brought it over to the States.
I'm okay with it.
Disneyland has yet to formally announce the new show. It is expected to do so around Mickey's birthday on November 18th.
Rumor has it.
Patrick.
Hi, Adam.
Hi, Patrick. Hi, Anna.
Hello, Anna.
It's me.
There's 3 of us here.
There are 3 of us in this room, and it's exciting.
And we have a lady with us.
That's right. Do you feel my energy?
I do feel your energy.
I'm so happy to be here, and I love your podcast.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. In fact, I binged it the week leading up to our recent Disney World trip, and it got me in the mood. It taught me so many fun facts that I regurgitated to Patrick throughout our trip.
We will cut you your check for saying that immediately after this episode.
Wonderful.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
You two just got back from a Run Disney experience.
We sure did. We ran, we Disneyed, we run Disneyed.
And I want to learn more about it, and I know our listeners do too.
Patrick is a veteran, and I am a noob.
You are a noob.
And in fact, he baby birded me not only through this experience, through signing up for the thing, getting all the information and materials we needed, but also through the race.
I was just a scared to go alone, so I tricked Anna into going with me.
And it worked.
Sneaky. So let's take a little trip back in time.
Okay.
Let's rewind.
Oh, you're good at that.
Thank you so much.
You're good at something.
So you sign up. How dare you?
Oh.
You sign up, right? You register.
You sure do.
Then what? Because then you've got months. And are they like, hey, there's 3 more months. Have you hit this many miles yet? Mickey wants you to be running this many miles.
That's a really good idea. You should write. You should write in. No, they do send you a couple of reminders, like, hey, have you signed up to go to this park yet? Have you registered for your hotel yet? Have you bought your tickets yet? They send those kind of reminders, but kind of right after you sign up, you're on your own until about a week and a half before is when they really start revving up the excitement for you.
And you both were training for this, right?
Well, I've been training all year. So I started my first Run Disney event was this past April.
Okay.
And I knew I was going to do this one right after I ran that one because I loved it so much. And so I have been training all year for it.
Disney does provide some training plans that you can download, like PDFs that you can download from their website that tell you how many miles you should be hitting at what point in your training schedule. And I started to follow that a little bit. But then one day in Minneapolis, it was pouring rain and thundering, and my running buddy and I hit 13 miles randomly.
Just like way before you should have.
We wanted to go like 5 or 6, and then we kept going and going, and we just ran a half marathon.
Do you believe that was thunder energy?
Yes.
Fueling you?
100%. Actually, it probably did regulate our temperatures pretty nicely, the soaking rain,
It's true. Running in the rain is actually really refreshing.
which we know
We
now
experienced on
from
the
the
run.
race, spoiler alert. But then my training plan kind of went kaput after that because I just felt like I could do it once, maybe I could do it twice.
You're like, I got this.
Yeah.
That training program is actually the Jeff Galloway training program. He is a former Olympic runner, and he works very closely with the Run Disney events. I think he's done all of them actually since they started.
Oh, wow.
And he recommends sort of a very attainable running schedule that sort of anyone can do, even if you've never run before. It sort of starts you out at day one. I need to go to the Run Disney Half Marathon. I've never run before. Where do I start? And you start with that training program, and it gets you all the way there to the finish line, really.
Incredible. So you're prepared. Mm-hmm. Patrick's prepared. Anna's like, I'm just going to roll on in.
I'm going to wing it.
She let Nikki took the wheel on it.
And so what special race events do they have when you get down there? Because I imagine it's not just like you're just rolling up to the starting gate. Is that what it's called? Starting gate?
The starting line.
Starting line.
You're very close.
Okay,
You're so
well-
close to a Run Disney event.
I think I'm thinking horses with a gate.
Mm-hmm. I run like a horse.
Do
And
you?
I was riding
A
one.
real old
were
one.
you?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish.
That would have been majestic, Anna.
Thank you.
So there are events though, right? I saw a picture of you you were at an expo, right?
Mm-hmm. It's just basically called the Run Disney Expo. It's
Now,
at the
why is it called the Run Disney Expo?
because it's an expo for Run Disney.
Got it.
Yeah, you catch on so quick. That's what I love about you.
Yeah.
It's at the ESPN Wide World of Sports on
Okay.
Disney property, and it's a huge expo, as I said, of a lot of vendors are there, running vendors, and then Disney has a ton of merch that we looked at. We looked extensively at the Disney merch,
We sure
obviously.
did. And we both bought headbands.
We sure did.
And they said the name of our race on it, the 2018 Disney Wine and Dine run. That's also where you pick up your bib and other race materials that you'll need the day of.
And your shirt, and you get sort of your starting time. You learn what corral you're going to be in at that moment.
And you'd been to an expo before, Patrick. Mm-hmm. Anna, first expo. What was it like? Was it overwhelming?
It was kind of what you'd expect. It helped us get our materials, and we kind of breezed in and out of there because we wanted to get to the parks, honestly. But a bus took us right there from our hotel and back, and it was pretty slick.
We weren't super interested in seeing all the vendors. We had seen them before at other races, and so we were just like, let's get to that park, though.
And buy Mickey pretzels and stuffed animals.
Exactly.
That's where our priorities lie.
Exactly.
Talk to me about that first day. Parks. Where did you go? And during this entire trip, were you in your head thinking, pace yourself because I have to run a half marathon on Sunday?
For me, Anna says no right out the gate. Go ahead, go with that.
We went to Magic Kingdom, and I didn't change anything that I would have done in any of the parks. We rode all the rides we wanted to ride. We ate basically whatever we wanted and tried to make the most of our experience before the pain settled in.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Especially that first day for me, I wasn't super worried about it because I knew we had a whole nother day and a whole nother good night's sleep. And I did regulate a little bit. Like I didn't have any drinks or cocktails that weekend before the run. And that's just so my body doesn't go crazy on the run itself. But we just sort of were focused on having fun and just making sure that we had a great experience. I can speak for myself. I don't know about Anna, but I'm not necessarily a competitive runner when I run. I'm not looking to necessarily beat personal records or be the first across the finish line. I just want to have fun and get across the finish line. So I wasn't super worried about exhausting my body as much as I was worried about having a great time.
You were at Magic Kingdom.
That's right.
What did you do? What did you eat? What did you see? Tell me it all.
All the things. We started out with my favorite, Splash Mountain.
Classic.
And, in fact, that was one of 3 mountain-themed fast passes that we had set up for ourselves.
It's true. It's true. All 3 fast passes we set up were the mountains in Magic Kingdom. So we were mountaineers that day.
Love it.
Anna had a first that I got to
did.
take her on, the People Mover.
The People Mover. Now, both Patrick and I have been to Disney a lot of times. I actually counted yesterday, and I think I've been there like 15 times.
Incredible.
Between the land and the world. But when you're over there riding Space Mountain, you're like, what is this thing? I don't know what it is. Well, at least I have been until now. And then Patrick told me that it's something called the People Mover, and it had been pretty rainy that day, and there wasn't a very long line, so we hopped on it, and it was amazing. It goes through Space Mountain and another ride, right?
It goes through Space Mountain. It goes through Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. And it was just what a wonderful opportunity to sit down for a while. And in fact, when the ride was finished, we weren't properly communicated with that it was time to get off. So we rode it twice in a row.
We did. We just stayed on the ride and rode it again.
They
Why
forgot
not?
about us.
Were you surprised at first where you were like, oh, it's slow moving, and then suddenly it just
Yes.
kind of took off and you were like, yowza.
Yeah, it felt like an error that I was
Yes.
very into. It was wonderful. And we even got stuck kind of looking over one of the gift shops, and that was kind of fun too.
And so I took inventory of what I was going to buy in the gift shop as we were stuck on the ride.
That's a ride that a lot of people really have a soft spot in their heart for because it is such a non-attraction in a way.
Yeah.
It's just a car that you're riding around and kind of going through some buildings.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, it is so fun and just like a great chance to take a break.
It's a hidden gem, really, and there's some great views of the castle and just Tomorrowland in general. But some of the views of the castle are super unique because you're on this weird level that you don't normally see the castle from. It's really beautiful.
I'm going to make sure to go on it every single time that I'm in Magic Kingdom from now on.
And did you stay for the fireworks that night?
We did. We actually got a really good view of it. We were sort of walking through going, if we see it, we see it. We've both seen it before. Our minds are on popcorn and gifts. And then there was this random little corner spot just like calling our name. We were like, should we?
We should.
And we did.
And we did.
It was great.
Beautiful. Now, the fireworks is so different from like when I was a kid there
Right.
because it's all projections
Right.
on the castle.
Right.
And I had sort of mixed feelings about that, but it's, of course, beautiful. It's not lacking for beauty. It's just very different than it used to
It's beautiful to look at. You're absolutely right. It is different. I have to admit, I miss looking up more and seeing big, shiny, sparkling things in the sky.
Yeah, you do sort of need to be in front of the castle now to appreciate the show, whereas before you could stand kind of anywhere in the park and still really get the feeling of it. And now you have to be right there in front.
And if an adult hoists their kids up on their shoulders in front of you, good night.
Good.
You can't see any of the projections. And
Or
you
people
can't complain about it.
People pulling out iPads to record it. I'm like, you can just
Yes.
go on YouTube and there are 4K, beautiful.
Depending on when you're standing, sometimes
Videos.
you watch the show through someone's iPhone.
Oh, ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we should mention the first food that we got immediately when we walked into Magic Kingdom.
Please do mention that.
Casey's Corner corn dog nuggets.
You sure did. You sure did. Anna, are you a fan of the corn dog nuggets like we are?
I dive bombed into that bucket of corn dogs faster than anyone ever has.
It's true. I thought Anna was going to eat one out of my hand as it was going to my mouth. I was like, okay, but we got this. We're
I
fine.
took majestic depth of field photos of it with the castle behind it, like a parent would with their newborn babe.
It's true. It looked like it was right out of a magazine, that photo you took.
You know, one of the reasons the three of us are friends is because we ain't fancy with our food. Like when we go to Disney, we like to act like we're 5-year-olds, and that is our daily diet. It's corn dog nuggets, it's a Mickey pretzel,
And it's peanut butter fudge.
and it's peanut butter chocolate fudge.
Can I elaborate on the how much we're not fancy? Is that we ate our corn dog nuggets on top of a trash can.
That is, you know, that is Disney.
Yeah.
Yes. We did it for almost every meal.
It's true.
And felt like geniuses.
Yeah, it's our hot tip of the trip is to don't find a table, find a trash can.
Many people refer to trash cans around Epcot as the unofficial table for food and wine because there's nowhere to put your food.
100%.
And guess what? When you're done, you just use that trash can for trash. So convenient.
You just tuck it right into that trash table, and it's perfect.
All right, so day one wraps, and you're headed back to your resort. Where were you staying?
We stayed at the All-Star Sports.
Because you were running, so naturally.
That's right, in the basketball section.
Very themed. Very themed.
And you're both big time basketball fans.
Hoops.
All the basketballs.
Hook. Is that a thing? Hook,
Yeah.
hook
Remember-
shot.
Shot, rim shot.
So many rims. So
Remember
many
when we
rims.
were kids and the guys playing basketball used to wear like really short shorts?
Yes.
I do remember.
Bring those back.
Bring those back.
Yeah.
I want to see those gams.
Yeah, let them out.
The Harlem Globetrotters.
Sure, I want all of it.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
We saw some Magic Johnsons on the run.
We need to circle back to that.
Oh.
What was the day 2 itinerary?
Well, the first thing I do when I wake up in a Disney park is to turn on that television to the Disney music that they have with the park schedule.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing to listen to. I love it so much.
A lot of Tchaikovsky on that station.
It was on most of the time when we were awake in our hotel room, unless we were watching My Big Gypsy Wedding
It's true.
on TLC.
Another Disney classic. You guys,
Probably took down 4 or 5 episodes.
Yeah. I can't recommend it to anybody
Absolutely
who's
not.
alive,
No.
but we sure watched it.
That's kind of one of the joys of Disney is when you get back to your hotel room after a really long and amazing day is turning TLC on or some sort of terrible television and falling asleep.
Just decompressing.
I mean, it happens almost immediately for me anyway. I am out because of those long park days.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. So after we watched the Disney park schedule for about an hour,
Right now, can I just paint a picture? I'm imagining both of you sitting on the ends of your beds, completely silent, just staring at the TV.
Hands under our chins.
Yeah, so excited, but yet you're not going anywhere.
no, that sounds really magical. Actually, we use it as a filter for when one of us uses the restroom.
Right. Turn it up.
We just
Turn
pump
it
up that volume and just zone out to Tchaikovsky's Cinderella Suite. It's great.
It's great that you have a plan. I mean, a lot of people probably unprepared.
And just hold it all weekend.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
can you
yeah.
imagine all those corn dog nuggets?
So many
Need to
nuggets.
come out.
Oh my.
Where were you off to that morning?
We made our way to Anna's favorite park, Hollywood Studios.
That's right.
Oh, it's old timey Hollywood for Anna.
Just love the ambiance.
Yes, for sure.
I feel like it's the most themed park. As soon as you walk in, you feel like you're in a different era. Has some of my very favorite rides, and we had fast passes for Tower of Terror and
Rock and Roller Coaster and Alien Swirling Saucers, ASS.
Oh, okay. Now, I think I totally dig on what you're saying, Anna, about it being like the most themed.
Yeah.
It's definitely the most, well, maybe not anymore, but when it originally opened, it was so cohesive, right? Like everything was like retro and cool and like vintagey. And
even just the colors when you're looking around, everything seems to be like within a palette, like a
You're right.
sort of a pastel-y, old-timey, and there's people dressed up like we watched like a little bit of a radio show.
Sure.
Radio show. And I don't know, I just love that park so much. And even some of the line experiences are some of the best in all the parks, I feel like.
Do you have a plan for Rock and Roller Coaster? Are you front of coaster people, back of coaster people, or is it like,
I'll take what I can get.
oh,
We're sort of standby single rider, so we're just like we'll sit wherever.
Okay.
I actually, if I had my druthers on the ride, I love the front row.
yes, the front.
I'll take
the
it.
front.
I feel like I've maybe only gotten that like one time, but we did ride that ride twice that day.
It's true, and as a fun fact, it's very common to request the front row. So it's something that they highly encourage. There's actually a little area that they put you in if you want to sit in the front row because it happens so often. So never be afraid to request the front row. It's very common, and you should do it.
I always do it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yes,
I'm
I always,
surprised.
unless it's just like so bonkers and I've been waiting in single rider line for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, just get me on the ride.
Yeah.
You know, if I have a fast pass, I'm always requesting front row.
If I could give a little merch report.
Oh, please do.
We were walking out of the ride and we were in the Rock and Roller Coaster little store. And I said to Patrick, "Ooh, a rocker mini." And he said, "That is Mickey dressed like Steven Tyler." And I bought it.
Yes, you did. Of course you did.
I mean, he was in high heels. I was confused.
It's true. Gender bending Mickey is the greatest stuffed animal I've ever seen.
And he's got a little microphone with like a scarf hanging off of it, like Steven Tyler is wont to do. It's great. Now it's in my office at the radio station that I work at.
What did you think of Toy Story Land? It was both of your first time experiencing it, or Anna, had you gone when you went your most recent trip?
I had walked through it already, but I didn't ride the Swirling Saucers ride that time. So that was a first.
Thoughts?
I loved it. I thought it was so immersive. I had seen photos and videos of it on the YouTubes, but it doesn't really capture how actually beautiful that land is and how detailed it is. Every little, even the garbage cans are themed with as toys. They're amazing. they did such a good job.
The dining tables, you mean?
The dining
Thank you so
tables,
much.
the trash tables.
It's very different aesthetically. It's a lot of primary colors, a lot of
Yes.
sparkles, and sort of overwhelming. And the actual ride that we went on, the Alien Swirling Saucers, was sort of glorified teacups.
Yes, it is. And if you've been to Disneyland, it's also Mater's Junkyard Jamboree out there. It's the same ride system.
Yeah, with a different overlay on it.
Yeah.
What I do like about the ride, just from a logistics standpoint, is that there aren't a lot of kiddie rides in Hollywood Studios.
Great
so
point.
this is a ride that kids and adults can ride.
This is a great ride to use a fast pass on because it's so short that we didn't really wait in line very much. And so I didn't feel short-sighted or anything when we left. And so I would definitely recommend using a fast pass for it, because if you waited in line 2 hours and it's like a 20-second ride or something, then you'd be like, hey,
I would be like that. And that's a great tip. Mm-hmm. What else about the studios? What else did you do? Did you eat anything special at the studios?
We had our first, I think, Mickey pretzel of the
3.
trip.
That's right.
Of 3 total on the trip.
And shared or...
We did. We shared a lot of food,
Patrick?
actually.
Patrick, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much. I will caveat that, though, with I also bought a churro at the same time as the Mickey pretzel.
with
because
chocolate dipping sauce.
it wasn't enough dough for me. I needed more dough.
Double the dough.
Sure.
We also ate at the Sci-Fi Drive-In movie theater, and that was
classic.
absolutely delightful. And guess what I had?
What did you have?
Lettuce wraps.
Wait a minute. Anna.
I know.
You
They
sound disgusted about
no,
it, but
they
you
were
weren't.
amazing, and they were fun to assemble, and I felt healthy, and it was light. It was delightful.
That's a smart choice and something I would not expect from the Sci-Fi Dine-In. In fact, I only ever think of burgers there and leaving feeling kind of disgusting and happy at the same time.
It's fair. It's fair. They do have really good burgers there for a sit-down restaurant. That I think is one of the better ones that Disney does food-wise. It's just really perfect and delicious, and you know what you're going to get when you order it, and it's not too adventurous. It's just really comforting food.
Plus the atmosphere, right? I mean, fantastic.
Can't beat it.
I love when you feel like you're on a movie set, and that place makes you feel like you're in the 1950s
Yeah.
on like filming a movie on a movie set.
I
It's
forgot
really great.
that everyone's so quiet in
Yes.
there. And they are really watching the snippets up on the big screen and not talking very much. And it's kind of zen. And actually, we had a fast pass that we really needed to get to, and they got us in and out of there in like 35 or 40 minutes.
They're great. And you know what? On a hot summer day,
Yeah.
that place is like heaven.
Yeah, it's a lifesaver, really.
It's dark. It's cool. It's a great break. Mm-hmm. So did you spend the entire day at Hollywood Studios?
We did. That was the only park we visited that day. In fact, I did one of my firsts there. I went to the Frozen sing-along show.
Oh, and how did you find that?
I really loved it. I didn't think I was going to. I'm not big on audience participation. I don't love a lot of the actory shows at the parks, but this is a real delight. I really loved it.
And Anna, you had done it before?
I had, and I kind of encouraged him to go because I had such a surprisingly incredible time there. There's something about getting to sing the songs at the top of your lungs and having the lyrics provided right there that's really special, because sometimes when you're singing along, you're not really supposed to be and people are staring at you. But now they're staring at you because you sound so great.
Yes. Yeah.
No, but it's and then the ending when there's like bubbles that come down from the ceiling. It's a beautiful show. And I
You
feel
mean
like,
snow that comes
I'm so sorry.
down?
I'm so sorry. Snow. And the actors, I feel like, are really improvising. They're making each other laugh. They're sticking to the script, but they're also putting their own flair on it. And now that I've seen it twice, I know for sure that they're adding in their own jokes.
And we should mention that Anna is a very talented improviser, so she knows good improvisation.
Well-
so for her to say that means something.
I did get up there and do a little bit with. And
Did you?
No, I didn't.
You were like, yes, and
Yeah, exactly.
I will hop up there now. I'm Sven.
They were really impressive because you know that they do that show like 7 times a day, and they keep it so fresh, and it looks like it's their first time doing it. And it's fantastic.
And there's a lot of jokes, I think, that are aimed at the parents. I heard some like mid-90s hip-hop references and stuff, and it was a delight.
It's a perfect example of that Disney magic where this is an attraction that's for everyone, for the young and the young at heart.
I love it. I've never done it, so now I obviously need to do it the next time we go.
I think you'll love it.
And we got right into, there was seats for everyone.
Did you stay for fireworks? Star Wars fireworks?
We did not. So this was the night before the race, so we knew that we had to tuck into into our beds pretty early because that race starts at 5:30, which means you have to wake up at 2:30 a.m. So we hightailed it out of Hollywood Studios at around 5 o'clock and went to Disney Springs.
Oh, lovely. And what did Disney Springs involve other than, I would imagine, some amazing shopping? Because the World of Disney store was newly reopened, right? When you were there?
Absolutely. And it had all of its holiday merch out, which was beautiful. If you follow our Instagram, there's a video, I think, on there and a couple of photos. It's absolutely beautiful inside.
Anna, Disney Springs.
I love it. I think, Patrick, you were the first person to ever take me there.
Oh.
And I'll be honest, the reason we went was for Earl of Sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
We had our eye on that Thanksgiving turkey sandwich, and we ended up taking it back to our hotel room and eating it in our beds.
Mm-hmm.
This trip or last trip?
This trip.
You know, I have to say, the reason I became aware of Earl of Sandwich was because the two of you, because of the last trip you took together, you stopped and ate there and were raving via text about how amazing it was, the
It's
holiday
so good.
turkey sandwich.
Yeah.
And I recently had my first experience at Earl of Sandwich, and it is wonderful.
It's everything. It's everything. Now, of course, Earl of Sandwich is not just in Disney World. It's all over the country, but there's something just magical about it being in Disney Springs, and it's the perfect pre-race dinner.
So you headed back to the resort, you tucked yourselves in.
With our sandwiches. We tucked ourselves in with a turkey sandwich, as one does.
That's right.
So cozy. It's like the perfect spooning buddy.
It's true.
Spoon a turkey sandwich.
Except it's gone so fast.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's true. There was no cuddling. It was just eating, eating, eating.
But I think that's the thing, is going to bed early was not hard because we had been on our feet for 2 days.
Yeah.
And we had been riding rides and walking around in the rain and in the sun. And so what time do you think we went to bed that night?
I would say we probably were in bed by 8.
Yeah. And we're probably sleeping by 9:30.
Very, very smart. Now, here's my big question, because I have flirted in the past with doing a Run Disney event. I know, Patrick, you've asked me in the past to go.
It's going to happen.
And I don't know.
It'll happen.
My concern is I'm walking around all day for 2 days or whatever beforehand. Even now on trips, when I get up in the morning, I'm like, oh, good God. Like, I can just feel it already.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I don't even know if physically I'd be like, let's go run a race. Like, if I'd feel the ability to be able to do that.
Well, I mean, that's part of it. I can't recommend enough doing some training before. I wouldn't say a 5K you need to train so much for, or even a 10K. I mean, train a little bit. But for a half marathon, I think if you go into it thinking that you can just wake up in the morning having never trained and do it, you're going to be struggling a little bit. That's just a fair expectation, I would say. So I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. But I still think that that Disney lays it out in such a casual way that you can do it, but you may not have the best experience doing that.
Let me speak to someone that is not a morning person and was not properly trained for this race. Well, Patrick woke me up with some soft lighting and some increasing shower noises.
Okay.
And I sprung out of bed because the adrenaline kicked in.
Yeah.
Sure.
This was the point of why we came this weekend. And I hate mornings, hate them, but I was ready to go. I was ready to get in my running outfit. We took selfies in the bathroom mirror and we got on that bus, and it was so exciting because there was, how many thousands of people ran with us?
I did not look up the number, but it was
11
significant.
or 12 or 13
Absolutely.
or something. When there's that many people and they are also awake and they're also ready to run, you don't feel tired anymore. You just feel ready to go.
And you are herded into gates, is that right? Like in different areas, like different starting points for different people?
So you arrive pretty early. You arrive around 3:30, 4 o'clock, I would say on average. There are character meet and greets that you can do, like Mickey and Minnie in their tracksuits, Goofy. It's really great. There's a DJ there that's really pumping you up. You can buy some coffee if you want, though who wants coffee right before a run? Not me. It seems real dangerous. Yeah, it seems real nope, that's not the right word. It seems gastrally dangerous to drink some coffee right before a run, but they really keep you occupied.
From when you arrive to when the race starts, things are in motion. You're getting into your lines, you're getting into your sections are moving, there's DJs, there's entertainment, and by the time it's time for your group to go, things have been constantly moving. And something that surprised me was that there were fireworks for every single group that went. And there's probably like 20 groups or something like that.
They do a wonderful job so the corrals ran from A to H, I believe, for this run. A being sort of those elite runners, and then H being maybe your first time run for a Run Disney event. And they do a really great job of like right at 5:30, A goes, and then you as corrals just sort of get into these lines that they herd you into. It's herd is a strong word, but it's really organized. It's really well done. You're never thinking what's going on right now. When am I going? You're very prepared. They prepare you very well.
And in fact, there's giant screens everywhere you look with actual human hosts that are telling you what's going on. They're giving you jokes. They're describing the events to you. They're telling you who the charity is that you're helping fund. And so there's always stuff to look at and listen to. You're not alone in a dark parking lot with strangers.
No, they
You're
really, they build a community there. And Mickey and Minnie came on stage and cheered us on before the run. It's amazing. It's really magical.
By the time we went, I was so excited.
They pump you up really well. It's like a hype man there personally for you.
Yeah.
And the fireworks went off and you launched on your way 13.1 miles.
13.1.
How did it feel?
It's really funny for anyone who's actually run one of these big races. Launch is a strong word. It's a real slow walk across the start line because you're behind 1,000 other people, and then you start jogging about a half mile in, I would say.
The first 8 miles felt great for me, and then my bones started to hurt. Like the stuff that like my ankles and my knees started to hurt because I'm not as prepared as Patrick is. But we were able to make it just fine without getting dehydrated or pulling anything or having to stop. But it's hard. 13.1 miles is a lot. It almost felt for me, because I wasn't as trained, it felt barbaric at times to just but it was an incredible mental exercise that I was really proud of by the time we finished it.
For sure. Were weather conditions a factor for either of you? Was it more humid, or was it more humid than you were expecting? Was it hotter than you were expecting? How did that come into play?
So Disney sort of regulates that a little bit by starting so early before the sun rises. And so it's not quite as humid and hot. However, for our experience, as soon as they said go, it started raining.
Oh no.
Not a hard rain, but it was a nice gentle rain. Yeah, I mean it was raining though, for sure, you could tell. But it actually, to me, it felt kind of refreshing almost. It's sort of like all right, let's do this. We're going to do this no matter what, rain or shine.
And at points we were just sort of like lightly misted, which was very nice. And there was only a mile or two where like the sun was beating down on us.
Toward the end, yeah.
And the rest of the time we were either in like pitch black or like beautiful morning sunrise.
Yeah.
And you run through the parks, right?
You do. So the first like 3 or 4 miles is sort of just the Magic Kingdom parking lot, getting out of that onto the highway stretch, running toward Animal Kingdom. And you would think that'd be pretty boring, but they actually had a lot of music playing. There were screens that were showing Disney movies as you ran, and the soundtracks to some of those. It was really beautiful and fun and energizing.
And you can hardly go 1 mile without so many volunteers all lined up, desperately wanting to give you Powerade or water.
Yeah, and or cheering you on with those runners' bells that jingle, and they just give you that extra pep in your step. It's really fantastic.
And there's like health tents all along the way too, in case something happens to someone or you need something like a Band-Aid, or like they had gel that they were giving out to like muscle gel that they were giving to people. And so I never felt like alone or scared.
No, you really feel
So
taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Even had we separated, we stayed together the entire time, but had we separated, I feel like we would have been just fine because the community there is so it's like a warm hug while you're running. It's really beautiful, actually.
And I have a friend whose mom had to stop halfway through the race because she wasn't feeling well, and another runner guided her, like noticed that her gait was off and guided her to one of the tents and, stayed with her until they knew she was okay. Like I didn't see one person get mad on the race. I didn't see one person exchange difficult words with another. It was never tense. It was only ever supportive. Even if someone stopped right in front of you and you practically ran into them, the vibe was like total patience and understanding the whole time.
It wasn't like being in a traffic jam. It was just like, hey, we're all in this together. Oopsies, that happened.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Yeah.
For each of you, what was one standout moment while you were running, whether it was like hitting a certain park at a certain point or something that you saw or something that you experienced or felt? What's that one thing that stands out in your mind?
For me, my very favorite moment of the race, and I experienced this last time and I was worried that it wouldn't be as magical, but it was just as magical, was the very last 2 miles you're running through Epcot and you're running through the World Showcase. And so they have the torches lit, they're playing this beautiful Disney music, and all of the cast members from each country are out there waving you on and speaking to you in their native tongue sometimes and waving their country's flag. It was so beautiful and empowering. It really encaptured the feeling of Epcot, that we're all here together. It makes me cry every time. It makes me cry right now talking about it. It stands out to me, and that's kind of, that moment is why I keep doing it at the Run Disney events.
And that point in the race was too far along for me to have those emotional feelings.
Sure.
I was hurting.
Yeah.
I was inside my headphones. I don't even remember Epcot. I just was trying to finish. So kind of the opposite for me was Animal Kingdom, because that was the first park we went through.
Yep.
And we were crossing a bridge and they were pumping in like the Animal Kingdom noises that you hear through the speakers.
Yeah.
And it just reminded me, like, this is not a normal race. This is really special for us. It's like themed, and it's so much to look at that the miles just go by really, really fast. So at that point early on in the race, I was still like noticing fun things. That was a highlight for me.
We got to run through Pandora when no one was there, basically. It's really beautiful. I can't recommend it enough.
The night before, Patrick had sent me his tracking information, so I was able to see where you guys were at any given time during the race.
You were awake tracking us?
I was awake for the last about hour of your run. And so it was so fun to see you guys hit World Showcase. And I know you were not having as much fun, but it was fun to see this little blue dot moving around World Showcase. And I'm like, oh my God, they're by Norway. And like, and then like I saw you run into Future World and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're almost done.
It's such a fun thing that they do. I really recommend doing that if you're going to do a Run Disney event, is send your friends and family that tracking, because they do want to support you, and let them do it, because it's helpful. I know that, Adam, you sent me and Anna some texts while we were running, and that was really helpful to keep going.
And my parents woke up early so they could track us, and I just had my watch with me. I didn't have my phone, so I didn't receive any text messages from them during the race. But when I finished, my phone was like bing, 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 bing.
It really was blowing up.
They were like, you're 2 miles and you're 3 miles. And then that was like, I like relived it through their text. Yeah. It was really fun.
It's very encouraging. So if you are a supporter of a Run Disney runner, do that for them, because it's so, so helpful.
An athletic supporter,
That's
I would
right.
say.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like a jockstrap.
Like a jockstrap.
Oh my.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
So the race finishes.
It does.
You cross the finish line.
We do.
Then what? I want to know what happens after that. Do you get loaded back onto buses and you go back to the resort, or what
You
happens?
Bananas.
fall over.
Oh, bananas.
You fall over and cry. No, you walk very slowly
Oh,
right
poor
after.
Patrick was doing the thing that runners do when they finish, which is just like walk away. But I couldn't walk at a normal pace.
Yeah.
And so I was really dragging him back.
Not at all. Not
It
at
was-
all.
I
You
was
were
hurting.
probably, it probably would have been helpful for me to slow down a little bit, because my muscles were like, if you don't stop, you're never going to stop moving, and you'll fall over and die.
But they have a banana guy, like right at the end, handing you bananas, and they have.
I love a banana guy.
I love a banana guy, and they have a runner's box for you, which was really special. It just had snacks, and what did it have, like applesauce in it, and tortilla chips and cheese
And cheese.
Yeah.
All the things that your body is missing, the salts and the sweets, they sort of like just pump it into you as soon as you cross that line. Yeah. All the Powerades you can drink, all the water you can drink. They give you a nice cooling towel to use. And then, of course, they put a medal around your neck, which is that's what it's all about, really, is getting that medal at the end of it. It's such a good feeling of accomplishment.
And it's a nice medal.
It's heavy.
With like a big, thick strap around your neck, and it's all themed. And then you walk right up and you get your picture taken after. And that was incredible.
So you went back, you took naps, you said? You rested a little bit?
We took about an hour and a half nap or so. I am an avid soak your legs in ice water kind of person after a run. So I sat in the tub for about a half hour. That feels really good. And then we fell asleep to some Disney music, I think, or maybe it was your white noise canceling machine. I can't remember.
It could have been both. I happened to get a really bad headache that lasted a couple of days. I've learned things about how to have a successful run moving forward. But we wanted to get some rest in because we wanted to go to Animal Kingdom.
We had those that Pandora Flight of Passage Fast Pass.
You certainly did. And you'd both ridden it before, correct?
Nope.
This is Anna's first
Was my
time.
other first.
Okay. Forget the race.
Yeah, throw the race aside. Who cares anymore?
Anna.
Oh.
Talk to me about experiencing that ride for the first time.
It was not what I was expecting. It was incredible.
What were you thinking going into what were you expecting it to be?
I have to say I was worried because I was trying my hardest not to hype it up too much for Anna and not tell her any spoilers. And then she had gotten a text from her two friends who were in the park the day before we were. And they were like, we both cried. Da, da, da. And I was like, oh no, this is not going to be living up to the hype.
It lived up to the hype. Yeah. It was incredible. And in fact, you revealed to me that you kind of designed our trip around that fast pass. Like you woke up early to secure it right the first day that it was available.
I knew you hadn't ridden it. And so I wanted to get that fast pass. And so whatever day that landed on, we were going to move the trip around that.
What a gift. What a gift you are. It was beautiful. There's a lot that goes on before you get into the room that you ride, right? So I was like, this is intense. They're like scanning me for multiple minutes. But it was so special. And of course, probably everyone says this, but like the first moment that you feel the banshee like breathing underneath you, where I knew that we were in for something truly like revolutionary, truly special. And then Soarin' is of course one of my favorite rides. And so I heard it's like maybe a little bit like Soarin', but woo! When I saw how close the screens are to your face, I knew how immersive it was going to feel. And I really haven't been able to stop thinking or talking about that ride since.
I can experience motion sickness. I never have on that ride because it's designed in such a way. I believe it's because they have your Navi guide in front of you that you kind of focus on the whole time. And I mean, you move around a lot on that ride, not physically yourself, but like the screen is very
incorrect. You are on a Banshee.
Oh, right.
You said there was a screen in front of you, and I disagree.
But I did have the first time I rode it a completely emotional experience. In fact, I was crying when I got off of it, and this sweet cast member who was Southern, so now I'm going to do a Southern impression.
Oh dear.
Bring it.
She was like, oh, baby, you're not feeling well? A lot of people don't feel well when they get off this ride. You come over here and sit down here. And I'm like, no, it's just so beautiful. Like she thought I was like having like some kind of reaction to it. But did you have some kind of like uplifted feeling, or was it just like, I'm
like pretty dead inside, so I didn't feel emotional, but I enjoyed the ride so much. The smells, the wind,
they do a great job.
Spray. It was incredible. I wanted to ride it right away. And in fact, do you remember the first thing I said when we got off that ride? I said I would have waited 2.5 hours in line for that ride.
That's
so
right.
We were lucky enough to have a fast pass, and that's how long the lines were that day when we were there. 2.5 hours for this ride. And you gotta figure if people are waiting that long that it's going to be worth it, and I think it is.
Yeah, because it's been open for a while now, and those lines are not seeing a big decrease in wait times.
Yeah.
What I will typically do now is I will rope drop Animal Kingdom and walk straight to that ride. Well, you can't really walk. They like kind of corral you into different sections. But I will get a fast pass for it too, so I'll be able to ride it twice in one day because I just can't imagine. I love that ride.
And how long is the wait if you like get there right away?
When we got there right away last July, we had maybe a 30-minute wait to get into the ride.
Great.
And in fact, the reason we rope dropped was because we had never experienced the queue, and there is a Navi in a tank in the queue, like an animatronic kind of floating in a tank.
Like life size?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. So it's like, 10 feet tall or whatever.
Yeah, I've never gone in the queue before because I always get a fast pass.
And that was the reason we rope dropped, was to see that. And of course, they bypassed that section because they were trying to get people to the ride faster because it had just opened. So I still haven't seen it.
Oh, someday. Get in that 2.5 hour line and you won't miss anything.
It's true. It's true.
I've got a hot tip for that ride, actually.
Yeah.
Sort of ride adjacent to it. So if you go to Disney Springs now, you can buy, I'm real into the essential oils lately, and they now sell in the co-op at Disney Springs an essential oil that is the scent that's in the Flight of Passage ride.
And I smelled it walking into your house today.
Yeah.
Your lovely husband pointed it out to me, and it is dead on.
It smells so good. It brings you right back to that ride. And so I put that in my little oil diffuser. I get on the dog and I pretend I'm on a Banshee. And everyone has fun.
Poor Ella. That's Patrick's dog's name, Ella.
She's a pit bull, and she is a strong one.
And you're so light.
Thank you so much. No, so really get out there and get that oil. It's worth it. I think it's called green clover or something along those lines. It's so wonderful.
Some kind of non-IP name so they can steer clear of Disney.
Exactly. And they don't have the exact ingredients on it, so you can't copy it, which is unfortunate because I would have copied it in a second.
I assume you did Expedition Everest, right?
We sure did. We did 2 times.
I have to tell you what happened.
We had the best/worst experience on Expedition Everest. best?
So we rode it with our fast passes, and then we saw that it had a pretty short single rider line, so we decided to do it again. And we got in line, and we both got on the same ride but separated. And as soon as the ride started moving and we got to an outdoor portion, I can't describe to you how hard it was raining. Just oceans.
The sky opened up, and it was like the rain was coming from the bottom of the ground, from the sides, from the top. It was a little kid next to me said, "Are we underwater?"
Yes.
It was raining so hard.
And we were dry before this. So it felt like every time you moved from an indoor portion to an outdoor portion, it felt like you were getting slapped in the face by water. And all that any of us could do was laugh at the top of our lungs.
Because if you know that ride, there are so many points where you are just stuck outside. The ride will just stop outside, and then sheets of rain were just like in our mouth, in our eyes. It was insanity.
No ponchos.
So funny. We just laughed. It was the best community building experience ever because no one was speaking the same language, but we were all laughing in the same language.
I remember a woman just yelling, "Why? Why?"
It was amazing.
That was the Yeti, actually.
It's true.
Yelling that.
It's true. It's true. The Yeti was the least scary thing on that ride. The rain was the most scary
my own
thing.
hair in my mouth was much worse.
Absolutely.
So how did the rest of your day pan out then? Because you had run, let's not forget, you had run 13.1 miles that morning, and you had spent the afternoon in Animal Kingdom.
The biggest park of all the parks, so that's the most walking that you'll ever do in a park.
Were you pretty tuckered out early on, and did you need to go back to the hotel?
We wanted to get to our runners party, which was back at Epcot.
Yes, so for the Wine and Dine Run Disney event, they do a runners-only event at Epcot. That starts at about 10 p.m., and it's only for the runners, so after the fireworks happen, they sort of usher you out of the park if you're not a runner, and then you can experience the World Showcase mostly. And there's a DJ, and well, there's supposed to be a DJ. Spoiler alert! It rained again.
Like there were points in the ground where the water was up over our ankles. So everyone was in ponchos. People were trying to make the most of it.
Sure.
I was soaked to the bone and so tired. I ended up going home a little bit before Patrick, and he smartly stayed to catch the rides when they opened back up after the fireworks, so he could ride a couple of extra rides, and then made his way back to the hotel too.
It's true. Yeah, I just wanted to experience a little bit of it just to see what it would have been. And I can tell you, and I said this to Anna when I got back to the hotel, that had it not been raining, I could tell it would have been a really, really fun event. Yeah. There would have been characters out to meet and greet, but it was just rain and soggy food.
The night got cut short for sure.
It's true. But it was worth it to get unfrozen in like 5 minutes, which was never happens. Yeah.
And the next morning was your return, right? You came back. I saw you had some Mickey waffles, first of all. So
it's true. So I got back to the hotel, and we just sort of like reminisced about the day, and then fell asleep. And then we woke up, and it was time to go home, which is always sad.
We don't have big breakfast to kind of replenish a bunch of the fats and salts that our bodies were missing.
It's true.
Patrick, back in February, now it's November now, and back in February, he got us first class upgrades for our ride home after our race for my birthday present.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. It was my first time in first class, and man, is it special. It was a very special plane ride home with all, that was the booze that we hadn't had in a couple of weeks. And that was like the fun food, and just I really felt like a queen on the way home.
So now that you're back and some time has passed, what is the one thing you would say to someone who is considering doing a Run Disney event? This will be great because we have the veteran and the newbie. What's the one thing you want to convey to that person thinking, I might want to try this?
I would just say believe. Believe that you can do it, because everyone can do it. Believe that they are going to take really good care of you, and believe that the whole process is run so smoothly that things are just going to move one to the next, and it's all going to work out very well.
Great. Patrick?
That's such great advice. Mine is kind of along the same lines, to sort of paraphrase from one of my favorite books, The Phantom Toll Booth. If you expect everything, the unexpected is never going to happen. If you go in there with just too specific of an expectation, it's probably not going to happen that way. You never know. It's going to rain. You're going to have a cramp or something. You just never know. So just go in there knowing that anything can happen, and it's okay. Have fun. Don't go in there thinking you're going to win the race. Just go there and have your goal be to finish. and you're going to have a great time. I promise you.
Patrick told me really early on that people achieve mileage that they never have before in these races because I had never run that much. And he said, even if you never can until that race, I bet you will during the race. And it's true because that amount of people really lift you up. That amount of distraction really lifts you up. And it just tends to work out for people. And so even though I don't know that I'll be like a regular half-miler runner, I was just so proud to have done it the one time, and without like Patrick's confidence, I wouldn't have done it. So you all can take Patrick's confidence with you moving forward in this race culture.
I really believe that anyone can do it. I've done, I think, around 10 races this year, and I hold firm that the Run Disney events are the best run events that you can go to. So if you're a new runner or an experienced runner, just try it. Just try it once. Try a 10K, try a 5K, try a half marathon, whatever you want to do. You can do it, and Disney will help you. Hey, Adam.
Hey, Patrick.
I think you know what time it is.
I do know what time it is.
It's Quick D time.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, we're like twins.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what?
What?
Anna's here too.
This is my favorite segment on your show, and I can't believe I'm here for this.
Some Quick D with a quick A.
That's right.
A stands for Anna.
That's right.
Oh, it also stands for Adam, but apparently not in this episode.
Not tonight.
Oh.
Your name starts with an A?
Yep.
Oh.
I always thought it was Badam.
It's on some days.
Badam.
Some days it's Badam, some days it's Fathom.
Some days it's Madam.
I just had some pizza, so it's definitely Fathom today.
No. So, for those of you who don't know, Quick D is where Adam and I, and now Anna, ask each other a question that we have not heard prior to this episode.
That's right. Who's going to kick us off? Are you kicking us off?
Why not?
Okay, Patrick, give us your quick D.
I'm gonna Quick D you so much.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Here it comes. So, Adam, you said that you're not a runner necessarily, and you may or may not do a Run Disney event. And Anna, you said that you may not ever do a Run Disney event.
Maybe not the half marathon, but
Fair enough, fair enough. If you were going to create a Disney sporting event, which would you create? What sport would you do? And why are you so good at it?
Jello diving. I think I have a way with wobbly things.
Yeah, fair. Now, is this off of a board or just straight into a vat?
It's definitely off of some height because otherwise you're not going to be able to get down into the Jello.
Okay.
But I think it is whimsical.
Yeah, it really is.
And flavorful. And can you just imagine some Jello between your toes or other crevices?
I don't have to imagine. I've done it so many times.
Sure.
he's doing it right now.
It's got a little bit of a Flubber tie-in maybe as well. The Jello. Remember the movie Flubber?
Yes.
Nope, no one?
Yeah.
No, I do.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
On board.
Your silence meant it wasn't funny then.
I didn't see it.
Is there a specific flavor, or are there like levels of flavors?
In my mind, when I said it, I was picturing like a raspberry or a
Yeah.
cherry.
I was
thought that
too.
too.
So
Yeah.
weird.
100%.
Yeah. I think it would be a really beautiful experience once you're down in it, right?
Yeah.
Because it would be very fractal. Like you'd maybe see some light bending colors, things you hadn't seen before. I mean, it would be transformative.
And at the end, do you dive into an ambrosia salad? Maybe.
No,
It's not part of it.
I would eat an ambrosia salad.
Okay.
Made from the Jello between my toes
Got
and
it.
other crevices.
Got it. I'm not going to eat that.
No.
But thank you so much for asking.
Anna, what about you?
How many times I could ride Space Mountain without dying?
Oh.
So for 4 days, 5 days. I love that ride so much, and we didn't even get to talk about our extra long experience on Space Mountain.
It seemed it, didn't it?
I think they doubled up our ride time. But I love that ride so much. You guys know it's my favorite ride ever, Space Mountain. And I would like to ride it forever.
It's true. I think that I could ride it twice without dying because I'm so scared on it.
You are after all these years.
I love it so much, but I'm so scared.
What scares you?
All of it.
How short the ceilings are?
Yes.
That you might fall out?
Yes.
That you could get whiplash?
It's funny that you asked me why I'm so scared of it, but you have all the answers at the ready.
Wondering.
She actually pulled out a list
Yeah.
on paper.
Here are all the
Precious
ways
ways.
you can die on Space Mountain.
I think that's a very noble Disney sport, and I think you could actually go for quite a long time. I think the first thing would happen, like your brain would probably scramble at some point. Right?
Really?
Don't you think?
Not if you close your eyes.
Okay.
Hold it in.
Hold your brain in.
Yeah.
That's a hot tip.
Your neck might snap from one of the it gets so loose.
Nope, not if you close your
Nope,
eyes.
great. You thought this through. Thank you so much for
Closing
doing that.
your eyes gets you through anything.
That's how I drive.
My turn. Patrick and Anna.
Yes.
We recently had an election.
Yes.
I want to know, aside from the Fab Five,
Yes.
aside from Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, Pluto,
Is there anyone else?
which Disney character would you want to represent you in Congress?
Such a good question.
Well, Baymax for me. I think he is one of the most magical characters to come out of any Disney movie in any amount of time.
And he's so helpful.
He's so helpful. He's a nurse.
Yeah, he's all about the healthcare.
Yeah, he's sort of genderless. He doesn't really have a background. He just is good. He like radiates goodness, and he can represent me. He can represent all sorts of people, and I stand for what he stands for. Also, we got to meet Baymax in our last Disney trip, and
True.
I got to tell you, when you press your ear up to the side of him, he sounds like wind.
Oh,
It's true.
Like good, like that's what you hear in Baymax.
He paints with all the colors of the wind.
Does.
that's an excellent answer. Patrick?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I have an answer that's so great. I'm going to go with Joy.
Oh, that's a great
From
choice,
Inside
too.
Out.
That's a great choice.
Thank you so much. She's so happy, and she's so tender and caring, and she really loves everyone to have the best experience ever, and that's who I need representing me.
Plus Amy Poehler.
Plus, it's Amy Poehler.
Right.
Come on.
So you got the Leslie Knope connection right there, too, right? I mean,
Already in politics.
well, I think what we really need is we just need Amy Poehler to be a representative or president.
I'll take
I think based on both of our answers, we just need someone who cares about us, turns out.
Who cares about anyone?
That is a novel idea, to have a representative who cares.
What the what?
It'll never work.
You're both incorrect. Both answers.
Scram, both
Trash.
of you. Get out of here.
Jafar.
Anna, thank you for joining us, not only for Quick D, but
my.
for regaling us all with your trip experience and for giving us an interesting and informative perspective of the Run Disney experience.
This has been the greatest pleasure of my lifetime.
Oh,
Being on this
my.
podcast, and I'm looking forward to finding out which one of you is going to help me up the stairs.
Oh, both of us.
Great.
That will do it for this episode of Gaze Do the D. Thanks for listening. Ratings and reviews are greatly appreciated and help people find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Spotify, and Stitcher. Continue the conversation after the episode on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast and on our website at gazedothed.com. Submit your questions or show ideas to info@gazedothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See you real soon.